Test, test, test. I'm just gonna go right into it. Fuck an intro on this one. Fucking intro on this one. We live? Okay, yeah, we're live. Alright, let me fucking post the Instagram story saying that we're live. As you can tell from the updated thumbnail, this fucking coward rat bastard has flopped on our debate at the last minute after talking the most fucking shit on Instagram that I've experienced thus far from any one of these scammers challenging me to a debate. The hubris, the chutzpah, the gall, the bravado of this fucking piece of shit in my DM, only for him to sheepishly respond to me this morning. Technically, it was the middle of the night for me because I'm on a different opposite time zone. Flopping, talking about compliance. Oh, compliance, compliance. You are a fucking rat fuck, Pedro. So we're going to do this. You know, there must be consequences for not only wasting my fucking time and, first of all, goading me in my DM to responding to him to actually do the debate. By the way, a debate that I know I'm gonna win. This is one thing about this type of content, is that I know the facts. This is not an opinion based, we're not discussing politics or philosophy. Multi-level marketing is something where there's actual historical data, there's math. You can demonstrate just simply by showing how an endless chain requires most people to be on the bottom at all times because of basic, simple exponential math, how it's a fucking scam, okay? Never mind all of the, earnings claims and false whatever the fuck else. So that's why I'm always comfortable doing these debates. Here, I'm posting in the Discord that we're live. Okay, boom, that's done. That's why I don't mind doing these debates. They usually get a lot of views. It's easy, free content. It's like seeing these people talk in circles and try to argue with me. It's always exciting to watch, I guess. It's a bit like controversial or whatever. And it's easy views and easy, if I do a debate with someone in the last 2 hours, that's a bunch of ad revenue and watch time I'm going to be getting. So it's literally free money. When these people challenge me to debate, it's literally me printing free money. This coward flopped on our debate. Sorry, our debate. What up, Susie? So I'm exposing, for fuck's sakes. So I'm exposing him instead. Here we go. And I'll put the link on the Instagram story. Maybe I should have done this. This is normally what I'm doing during the intro, is posting in the Discord. When the music is playing, I'm posting in the Discord and posting the Instagram story saying that I'm live, so that by the time I get on stream, everything is accounted for. Okay, boom, there we go. Okay, what up, all the members? Dave Vaughn, what up? He who fears the emperor fears the truth. Bars. Bam, what up? What up, everybody? What up, what up? Jared, Geldemore, Yub G, thank you as well for becoming a member. Tavis, appreciate you. Okay, so let me just share with you. I'm just gonna literally do this. I'm just gonna literally do this so that people hopefully get some fucking sense in their heads and stop trying to fucking play with me, especially when they know I have literally nothing to fear when it comes to debating them. I've done debates with countless of these rat fucks before. So, all right, let's do this. Here we go. Let's check it out. So this is a DM I got from Pedro Villaroel, or Villaroel. I don't know how to say it. He's a public account on Instagram. Let's go to his page. He's a public account on Instagram, so I'm not doxing anything by showing this. He's a public fucking account who reached out to me. He has a Calendly link in his bio here on Instagram. You can book looks like you can book a call with him of some kind. Let's see. It's in Espanol. Most of his videos are in Spanish. He's a Spanish-speaking person. Okay, so, I'm certainly not telling people to go to his Calendly link, to tell him that he's a coward. I'm not condoning that, because you could probably say that that's me being, inciting harassment on an individual. So I'm not doing that. He's a public profile. I'm just simply making the observation that he has a Calendly link in his bio. I was just showing you his profile. Okay, so here we go. He messages me on Friday. Right now for me, it's Wednesday. It's Tuesday night for you. It's Wednesday. I purposely didn't do another debate on the another stream on the weekend because he wanted to schedule this for today. So I thought, oh, it's 2 streams a bit too close to each other. Let me not do that, and I can do this one. And by the way, the stream I was gonna do is a new stream about Ali Sob, the Lebanese alpha male influencer guy, because he responded to me, actually made a video about me, calling me a clown and a bully on Instagram. And I got some new information about him. You know, I thought he was pretty nice. I thought I was pretty nice to him on my last stream, the first stream I did about him. And he's calling me a clown and a bully on his newest Instagram reel. And so I got some actually interesting information sent to me about Ali Sob regarding multiple domestic. Says, I'm with WFG. Let's expose each other. I screenshotted this and posted it on my story. And I said something to the effect of, you know, the audacity of these scammers to hit me up like they have something, you know? And then a bunch of people replied to that story roasting him, being like, why is this the zestiest way to challenge someone to a debate? You know, like, you're a grown man asking another man to expose each other. Like, sounds sus. But hey, I'm a generous person, so I'll chalk it up to language barrier or something like that. Also, one more thing. Let me post in the chat here. Oh, Susie ran into her ex-boyfriend, who's an MLMer, in the airport on his way to an event with his fellow members. I hugged him and he said he was so happy to see me and said maybe this was a sign. A sign to get the fuck out? You know? Okay, so let's continue. I'm with WFG. Let's expose each other. I've made multiple videos about your company. You're nobody. You know, you're an account with how many followers? 1,000 followers exactly. You're an account with 1,000 followers. I don't need you. I don't know you. You're nobody to me. You've posted nothing that would make me change any of my findings or discoveries or opinions about WFG. So for you to just send me this is such a nothing burger of a message to begin with. But you know what? Anytime, as I said, it's literally free views and free money and free content for me when people hit me up like this. So I said, lol, sure, sounds good. Do you have Discord? We can do a call and live stream it on YouTube. He says, I don't have Discord, but I have Zoom. Then he responds to my story and says, yeah, this was the story I posted. I said, I love when these scammers have the audacity to challenge me like this. Sorry, you can't see that. I love when these scammers have the audacity to challenge me like this. The fact that they claim to be successful business people, yet feel the need to fight online to prove how legit they are, tells you everything. And then I did a poll asking, should I debate him? Of course, everyone unanimously said yes. Okay. He says, the fact that you scam people and get paid for fighting in social media because can't keep a decent job says everything. Now, I didn't post these subsequent DMs on my story later because I wanted to bring it all up in the debate. I wanted to start the debate and be like, hey, so in your DM to me, you said that I'm a scammer. Please explain how I'm scamming people. I love this. I was literally gonna give him the floor on my platform, on my channel with 110,000 fucking subscribers, okay? To say whatever he wanted about me, okay? Explain how I'm a scammer, explain how I'm wrong, undermine all of my credibility, prove me wrong, you know? Open floor, unedited, no live streamed, do whatever you want. Matter of fact, I was even going to let him host the Zoom meeting so he couldn't claim that I was muting him or doing any shit like that. So, okay, don't know where he's getting this info. The fact that you scam people and get paid for fighting in social media because can't keep a decent job. Where are you getting this info that I can't keep a decent job? I'm a fucking full-time YouTuber. I don't want a job. I'm a full-time YouTuber. It's like the most desired job of most people in the world nowadays. You're in a pyramid scheme. What are you fucking talking about? So then I said, haha, I invite you to join me on stream and tell me everything you want to say. He said, don't be scared, brother. I'm just a new guy. And I said, I'm not scared. I'm literally inviting you on my channel, LOL. He says, I don't have a Discord, but we can do a live, TikTok or Instagram, or since you know it all, you can tell me how to join your YouTube channel. I said, we can do Zoom. YouTube will have the most viewers, so you can embarrass me in front of more people. I'm giving him everything. He said, perfect. I'm on the east side. Is it okay at 1:30 p.m. today? Zoom will be fine. That way we can both record and see who hides content. And then as if it wasn't already gay enough from telling me, let's expose each other, he does the little monkey emoji. Why are you gay? By the way, another fucking point of just the balls on this guy. You've DM'd me. I've responded. And you're asking me, is it okay if we do it at 1:30 p.m. today? So not only are you demanding that a YouTuber with 110,000 subscribers responds to you, a nobody scammer. I did that. And then on top of that, you want me to do the debate like this right when you want me to do it. By the way, I'm on the other side of the fucking world. So it was already like almost, I don't remember exactly what time it was. I think we're going to see in my subsequent DMs here. It was already late at night for me. Like there was no way this debate was happening the same day or whenever that he was asking me to do it. So here we go. I said, don't worry, it will be live. I don't edit anything. Then I respond to his request about time. I said, I'm in a different time zone to you, so today will not work. He says, awesome, even better with regards to the live thing. I said, how about Saturday night? I'm offering you an alternative day because this day doesn't work. And then he goes, of course it won't. He thinks I'm flopping. I'll be in a wedding, brother, on Saturday night. How long do you want to do this for? 1 hour? 2? I said, haha, the impression you have of me is hilarious. You seem to think I am a deceptive journalist who edits stuff and avoids debate. I'm choosing to reply to you and try and make a plan. Just because I can't immediately do it at a time that's convenient for you doesn't mean I am avoiding you, bro. I promise. LOL. We can do as long as you are comfortable with. I am very open. He says, I don't have any impression of you other than I believe you're misguided and carry some wrong paradigms of what distribution and direct sales are. You know, the word paradigm, it's like the same as the word mindset for me. It's been completely ruined. But hey, debate is good. That's why I'm open to it. I said, I'm happy to discuss with you and I'm open to changing my mind. He says, you're not open to change your mind because that would require changing the trajectory of your platforms and lose the stream of income you have with your channels. I don't want to change your mind. I want people that are going to be watching can make a more informed decision. That's it. You're going to do you and so am I. I said, sure, that sounds great. I'm willing to share my platform with you to let people see a different point of view. Check mark. You know, I'm giving him everything. Also, him saying you're not open to changing your mind because that would require the changing the trajectory of your platforms. Bro, I can pivot and talk about any scam under the sun. It doesn't have to be about MLMs. The videos that I've done, like the Ring camera scam that I did, which was about sort of companies just getting away with changing the terms of the deal after the fact. That video did excellent for me. I could continue to do videos like that. I could continue to do multi-level misery. Like, trust me, I'm gonna be fine. And it should make anyone question themselves when they accuse me of doing this for money, because the amount of money that I spend on legal fees for lawsuits fighting against these companies that sue me after I expose them effectively washes away the money that I make in the first place. So this is certainly not about money. I'm not over here living some fucking jet setter lifestyle on account of my YouTube channel. But that seems to be the impression that these people think, that these people have of me, you know. Never mind the harassment and the DMs like this and the hostile DMs and the DMs from faceless Anon accounts threatening me and, you know. So he says, awesome. How are we going to do this? We do a Zoom and you project to YouTube, or how exactly? I said, yes, exactly. You don't have to do anything except a normal Zoom call. I share it to YouTube via a software called OBS. He says, awesome. So let's do tonight at my 7 o'clock. Again, just wants it to be when he wants it. I already told him, how about Saturday? He said, no. Okay. I said, based on my time zone, it will have to be either later in the evening. For you, this means 8 p.m. or later, or in the morning, 8 a.m. or earlier. I am basically on a flip of a.m. and p.m. He said, are you Pacific? I said, no, I'm literally on the other side of the world. He says, Europe? I said, 8 p.m. for you is 7 a.m. for me, for example. He says, you are in Asia, LOL. Okay. It's got to be during the week then. Actually, he says, it's got to be during the week then. I've never understood people who type the word, you know, make yourself seem less intelligent. It's got to be during the week then. This weekend I won't be home, and we can do Tuesday or Wednesday at my 9 p.m. I say, no worries, bro. I can do that. Enjoy the wedding and keep me posted if anything changes. He says, let's shoot. Tentative Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I said, that's perfect, and that's right now. He says, awesome. I say, Here's a debate I did with another guy from WFG. We all remember Febby Francois, the guy who says ice cream will melt. When I ask him about is it good for an individual ice cream truck driver if all of a sudden the neighborhood he's in is filled with ice cream trucks. I'm trying to explain market, supply and demand, market saturation to him, and as an analogy for why it's so nonsense in a multi-level marketing scheme like WFG that you would recruit your own competitor who's going to be selling the same thing as you to likely some of the same people in your mutual social circle, cannibalizing the sales you could have made. So I sent him this. I said, are you cool with me making a thumbnail with a picture of your choosing and using a similar title? And I send him the link, and I show him exactly what I'm planning. He says, I saw that. And Febby is not even a good example of a WFG agent. He left to another agency, by the way. Of course he did, because these people never fucking last. He recruited people, sold policies, and didn't even follow through the process. And policies were never close because of his lack of integrity to the client. So we can both expose him. LOL, he's not a good example. Once again, if you fail, it's your fault. It doesn't matter how hard these people ride for the company. Anyone else in the company, like I'm sure if Pedro was watching this debate when it happened live a year and a half ago or whatever, Pedro would have been like, get him, Febby. Yeah, you're bodying him, Febby. And now that he's not in the company anymore, oh, he had a lack of integrity. He wasn't a good example. He didn't follow through the process. You love the blaming. You love it when these people scam people, and then those people inevitably realize they're being scammed and leave. That they say it's their fault. So I say, okay, good to know. As far as my question, though, my question being, can I make the thumbnail? Is that okay with you? He says, I'm okay. And I ask for clarification. I said, by that, do you mean you don't want it? YouTube does require a title and thumbnail, and if there's one with a picture of both of us, it will definitely attract more people to hearing what you have to say. He says, I said I'm okay. And I said, I could use your IG profile pic and send you the draft for your approval. He says, here you go. Perfect. I say, okay, great, thanks. I will send you my design, and if you like it, we will use it. If you don't like it, I will make adjustments until you are happy with it. He said, sounds like a plan. I said, okay, great, talk soon. Later, I sent him this. This was the next day. Hi, Pedro. Please let me know what you think of this thumbnail. If you would like any changes made, I am happy to accommodate you. So I used the exact same format as the previous debate, and I made this nice thumbnail. He said, let's do it. And then I scheduled the stream. I said, hey, man, I just scheduled the stream on my channel, so it will be visible there as an upcoming stream. Can we make one adjustment and push it 1 hour later to 10 p.m. EST? He said, we could. Tuesday at 10 p.m. Correction, that's actually right now. He says, I say, awesome, thank you. Then yesterday, before I went to bed, I asked him, hey, man, still good for our planned time? He says, yes, sir. Great. Then, I guess that wasn't, technically it was before I went to bed, but it was at 3 p.m. So, okay. He replies at 8:20 p.m. Yes, sir. From 8, okay, between 8:20 and 5:14. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the course of the next 9 hours, despite the fact that we set this up on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we set it up 3 days in advance, and now everything was fine. It was cool to make the thumbnail. It was cool to schedule it. It was cool to do it on YouTube for as long as he wanted. Boom, 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 boom. Now, suddenly, 9 hours after he says, yes, we're good to do it, and only 4 hours before we're actually set to do it, he messages me, and I woke up to this message today. As I said, the time zones are opposite. For him, it's the evening right now. For me, I've just woken up. So I went to bed last night. Yesterday, the fucking shit I do for these scamming rat fucks. Yesterday, I was like, you know what? I need a haircut. I've got this debate tomorrow. A lot of people are probably going to be watching. I got to look good for the debate. I got to look good for Pedro. I got to look like I'm put together when he accuses me of not being able to hold down a decent job. I've got to be on my A game, So I went and walked over to the little market in the village, and I asked the lady who cuts hair, I said, can you cut my hair today? She said, no, I'm busy. So I was like, okay. I went home. I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? I need this haircut. Thankfully, later she messaged me, and she was like, okay, you can come by after 4 p.m. At that point, I was already working, editing the new Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme video on my laptop that I've been working on for 2 years. But she messaged me and she's like, you can come by for a haircut. I was like, okay, cool. I'll come by later. So, you know, after around 4 p.m., I go walk back to the village market where she's cutting hair. She cuts my hair. I stop doing the editing on the new infiltrating a pyramid scheme video so I can go and get the haircut. And now I'm like feeling great. I'm like, whoa, I got the haircut. We'll be ready for the debate tomorrow. I'm gonna go do some more editing, go to sleep. Last night I made sure I went to bed early so that I was able to go wake up early, you know, and do the debate. And I was thinking when I went to bed, you know, I wonder what Pedro's going to say during the debate. I wonder what he means when he says, I'm scamming my fans. I wonder how he's going to say that Febby was doing it wrong. I wonder why he thinks WFG is such a great opportunity. I wonder why, if he's a successful businessman making lots of money with WFG, why he would want to reach out to a YouTuber, challenging him to a debate and taking this hostile tone. I'm very curious to learn about this guy. He messages me, hey, Marco, I'm so sorry, but I'm not going to be able to do our Zoom meeting. I did not realize everything going on with you and potential litigation. Believe me, I would love to defend our company, but from a compliance standpoint, I just simply can't. I apologize for the confusion. For the time being, I'm going to have to back out of our meeting. Pedro, fuck you. I love when scammers say this fucking shit. Compliance. You weren't worried about compliance, motherfucker, when you reached out to me talking all that shit. You weren't worried about compliance when I posted you on my fucking Instagram story calling you out for being in my DM like this. You weren't worried about compliance when I made the thumbnail and scheduled the stream. You weren't worried about compliance when we were going back and forth talking about the time. You know, surely you told people that it was going to be happening. You weren't worried about compliance. You know, these people will throw compliance in at the last minute as an excuse, as a complete fucking excuse. And let's look at his reasoning. I did not realize everything going on with you and potential litigation. First of all, motherfucker, potential litigation from who? I'm not going to sue you. I've been talking about WFG almost 6 years now. If they were going to sue me, they would have sued me by now. They haven't sued me for shit because everything I've said has been true. What are you going to sue me for? And if they did sue me, guess what? I would win. My lawyer's a fucking machine. And the goons will support me. Not realizing everything going on with you. Let's assume that by this he means other lawsuits that I have. Let's assume that he watched other videos of mine where I talk about having other lawsuits, and this is what he meant by everything going on with you. What does other lawsuits that I'm dealing with have to do with you and me doing a fucking conversation on live stream? What does, if Joe Schmo or XYZ MLM company over here is suing me and I'm dealing with that in the background and I'm fighting litigation in the background, how does that affect you and me having a conversation? I'll tell you, it fucking doesn't. It's just an excuse. I woke up to this. As I said, not only did I stop editing my infiltrating a pyramid scheme video yesterday so I could go get a haircut, I also delayed the previous live stream. I was going to do a follow-up stream about Ali Sob so that I could do this stream on Tuesday. I didn't do one on the weekend because I was like, I'm doing one on Tuesday, so I don't want to spam, you know. And then he fucking flops. I let him have it. I said, ha ha ha. All that talk and instigation just for you to be a coward and pull out last minute. Compliance is the weakest excuse. If you're not doing anything wrong, compliance isn't an issue. Great point by me. Great point, Marco. Go look in the mirror and say the words, Pedro, you are a coward. I'm telling you right now, if you don't show up for this, after all the back and forth and planning I did for you, after you were talking shit in my DM as a grown man, I'm dedicating the entire stream to roasting your punk ass, which is going to be way worse than whatever compliance issues you could have faced from WFG. He says, oh no, please don't roast me. I said, remember when you were taunting me about being scared and thinking I was making excuses when I couldn't do the debate at the exact moment you wanted it? Now look, you are a pussy rat bastard. Imagine being in a YouTuber's DM, challenging me to a debate so you can expose me for being a scammer, talking all that shit just to flop like a coward with a weak-ass excuse. If you were successful with your scam, you wouldn't even care about me and my videos. Exactly. I hope this is a learning lesson for you, bro. Still, there will be consequences for slithering away like the little snake you are. He says, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. I said, you're out of shape, broke, pushing a scam, desperately trying to convince yourself and everyone else it's legit, begging a YouTuber for some attention, and then backing down with weak excuses at the last minute. Pedro, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. By every measurable standard, you are a fucking loser. Pedro, let me go back to this. And then he reads it and doesn't fucking reply. Because, of course, what are you going to say? He knows I'm right. Let's see what's going on here. Most of his videos are in Spanish, unfortunately.
Oh, what I see in you guys is that you guys are the fastest growing team in my territory, and I think in about 2 years worth of time, you're going to be the biggest team in my territory. And
Can't even go to a fucking baseball game without making some content about being a scammer.
Also earlier, you know what I...
Until she lost her job.
Most people would be like, what you guys got going on?
And then he's posting this guy, Daniel G. By the way, what up, James Boyd? Thank you, man. Daniel G, this guy right here, I've done a whole stream on him before. You can look it up on my channel. It's called Meet Daniel G. Daniel G is actually going to be making an appearance in my newest Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme video as well, because so many different people in so many different MLM companies lick this guy's fucking asshole on social media because he's apparently a great trainer. Daniel G is one of the most fucking despicable, scamming, lying rat bastards I've ever seen in my life. The amount of false equivalences and like razzle dazzle he uses, like talking really fast and like, you know, being really loud till it looks like the vein in the side of his neck is gonna explode, and moving his hands around and wearing the tight Andy Elliott jeans, makes these scammers think that he's somehow saying something profound, when really, just like Patrick Bet-David, if you took the words he's actually saying and wrote them down on paper, you'd see that it's all complete fucking nonsense, lies, false equivalence, logical fallacy, etc. And this guy actually makes an appearance in my new Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme, because that company, which is completely nothing like WFG or one of these insurance MLM schemes, that company that I talk about in my newest Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme video has nothing to do with any of those type of products or whatever. And they also brag about Daniel G, and Daniel G is in one of the offices giving a sales training for this other MLM company that I'm exposing in the new Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme. So of course, 3 hours ago, after Pedro has already flopped on me, he's posting this shit.
It's one of those pyramid things. Explain to me.
You gotta go inside.
It's funny you're talking to me about compliance, Pedro, you rat fucking snake bastard, because you're talking about compliance and then posting a video about Daniel G, who's literally saying, like, arguing about the pyramid objection, where he's trying to make an equivalence. Look, let's just watch it.
And then somebody else is gonna go underneath you, and then somebody's gonna go underneath you. I'm like,
Thank God. You can't go start in a regular company and then build below you. The big
Making the false comparison between a normal company where there's a hierarchy or a chain of command and saying that that's a pyramid, but in that pyramid you can't move up the ladder. Just fucking nonsense. If anything, that's less compliant than you speaking with your own voice and having a conversation with me on your stream. Where's the one video where he's actually speaking English here? Here.
Hello. Here's another case of, since I don't know shit, I want to confuse people. Brought to you
So confident. This is 1 day ago.
by Sam. Which, by the way,
If a person does not, their last name, I think he means if a person does not show their last name on social media, they're probably hiding something. So what's your excuse then, Pedro? What's your excuse? You show your last name, you're a public account, and yet you're hiding from me like a fucking coward after talking a bunch of shit. So that means you don't know shit, right?
I don't even know if she's licensed or anything. She doesn't have a name or last name, which is very weird coming from someone that asks you to be very diligent in sitting down with someone, make sure that they're properly licensed. The fact that we can check if she is properly licensed is very, very weird. But listen to the bullshit that she's claiming that she knows now. Let's go.
So just a heads up about the latest scammy financial planning product that I'm seeing. You know, I'm always talking about like the Index Universal Life policies and how terrible they are. Yeah, well now the one that they're pushing is life annuities.
You know, one thing that my mom always asks me to strive for? Try to look for people's motives. You'll find out what she's not a fan of Universal Life or now annuities. Let's continue listening to her and you'll find out why.
Same thing, different font, basically. And what I mean by that is Index Universal Life is
The fact that she just said the Universal Life and annuities are the same thing, different funds. Tells you everything that you need to know about this lady. She has no idea. They're a different product.
Most Mexican supervillain in a cartoon laugh.
Completely different product. Different product. Oh my God, this is hilarious. It almost hurts my ears listening to this lady talking about products.
Type of permanent life insurance, and not all permanent life insurance
Yes, this is Pedro. This is Pedro's Instagram we're looking at right now.
is bad, but hardly anybody needs it, and there are much better things to do with your money. Same thing here.
Tell me you've never sat down with a wealthy person without telling me you've never sat down with a wealthy person.
You're not even a fucking wealthy person, Pedro. Shut the fuck up. You posted this 1 day ago. You have 21 likes. This is a fucking flop by all measurable standards, okay? You're a grown man. By the way, I don't want to scroll down too far on his Instagram because he has kids. Bro, you have fucking kids, bro. You're a grown man. Older than me by the looks of it. With more responsibilities than me. You're a fucking father. You have children. And you're wasting your time posting retarded shit like this on Instagram, trying to debunk some lady's video to push your multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, and DMing a fucking YouTuber. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, you are a fucking loser. Go work a normal job. Here's my advice, because if these people actually followed through on the debates with me, they would hopefully realize eventually, maybe not the same day, but eventually, that I'm actually trying to help them. That they would actually make a lot more money if they took my fucking advice. But they don't want to do that because they're too much pride, too much ego. Their upline has made them think too much that if they fail, it's their fault, and so they have to always be in this shell, this defensive shell of like everyone else is a hater or a dream stealer. You wouldn't believe how many times I've been called that. And you wouldn't believe how many times I've done a debate with someone in some MLM company, and then months or years later, they'll message me and say, hey, just want to thank you, you were right. Or I met a guy in the gym a year ago on the other side of the world. He was from Spain. He came up to me, he said, you're Marco, right? I said, yeah. He said, I used to hate your guts. This guy, David, it was the first fucking thing he said to me. Have you ever had someone come up to you and you're in the grocery store, at the gym, when you're just doing your normal thing, come up to you and say, I used to hate your guts? The balls to say something like this to someone. And I said to him, I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, I used to be in an MLM company whose name I'm not going to say, that I was going hard on in 2021. He said, I used to be in that company in 2021. I lost around $10,000. And when I was in it, everyone was talking about how bad you were, how much of a hater you were. And now I realized that it was a pyramid scheme and I lost $10,000 and they're still doing it. And I've had friends who are still in it and those friendships have been destroyed. And so, yeah, I just want to let you know that and thank you for what you do. Wow. You can't make this shit up. Real life impact out in the real world. As a matter of fact, since I've been not living in Canada, since I've been living on the other side of the world, I've been recognized for my YouTube work a total of 4 times. Every single time was in the gym. 3 times was in that specific gym. And the other time just happened again. This is like the first time in a while it's happened. Last week, I was in a completely different gym. I was about to leave. Some dude comes up to me. He goes, no way, Marco? I was like, yeah, man, how's it going? He's like, I'm good. How are you? What are you doing out here? Blah, blah, blah. We're talking. I said, I'm just assuming you know me from YouTube, right? He's like, yeah, I was in this company. I used to watch this. Bro, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. The negative impact that MLM has is felt all over the world, which, by the way, you're going to see more of that in my Amway documentary, which is coming out this year, which, if you remember my Instagram posts from going to the Amway headquarters in Japan, Malaysia, etc., all of those visits were part of a documentary I'm working on about the impacts of Amway and other MLMs, but specifically Amway in other countries and mainly poorer countries, because it's been well documented. There's many videos of people, English speaking people talking about how they lost $500, they lost $10,000. But usually these people find a way, they have a credit card, they borrow money, they find a way to keep moving. The main thing I want to show in this Amway documentary is how actually life altering it can be when someone in a poor country where their currency is not worth nearly as much as our country back in North America, how devastatingly their life can be impacted by losing $500, for example. So I'm going to be talking to people in the documentary and getting testimonies from people where you'll see subtitles. You know, I'll have a translator with me talking to these people where you'll see the subtitles translating their language to English, talking about their experience. Because I'll tell you, man, in some of these countries, you've never seen MLM. You know, you think it's crazy when you drive around in your you know, I'm from Alberta. I drive around Edmonton. I see offices for World Financial Group and whatever else. You wouldn't believe how you can drive around in some of these Asian countries and see Amway like stores, big signs that say Amway, big buildings that say Amway. It's horrifying. It's truly fucking horrifying. So yeah, you know, Pedro, no one has ever come up to Pedro and told him, you know what, man, you really changed my life with that video you posted. You really helped me with that fucking indexed universal life policy that you sold me, that annuity you sold me. Pedro, I'm smart. You're dumb. Okay? I help people. You hurt people. I tell the truth. You tell lies. I'm big. You're small, etc., etc., etc. Wake the fuck up and realize that I'm actually trying to help you. I'm trying to help you, you fucking idiot.
I feel bad for you.
I feel bad for you. You have children. My actual advice to you, because I can't stop being such a generous superhero, Pedro, my genuine advice to you is go work a normal job, put your head down, never speak of this again. Let's pretend it never happened. DM me right now apologizing, showing me some sort of proof that you've left WFG, delete your videos promoting this scam bullshit, okay, do a rebrand, I'll delete this live stream, we'll act like it never happened. Put your head down, save yourself the embarrassment, save your kids the embarrassment when they look up their dad's name on YouTube. Save yourself all of this grief. Put your head down, work a normal job, live your life, feed your kids, raise your kids, go to the soccer game, have fun, be a family, do a normal shit, be a normal person. Don't be a fucking scammer. And don't talk shit in some YouTuber's DM trying to expose me and then flop at the last minute because you actually have nothing to stand on and you're just a coward who's fighting a war with himself at the end of the day. Go do that and we'll be friends. Go do that and I promise you will have a totally new insight on me. That's the best way.
I feel bad. I don't know.
And you'll make more money. Go figure. And you'll make more money by just being a normal person and not trying to scam people and just working a normal job. What actual legitimate businessman has to go on Instagram trying to defend their fucking scam like this?
I don't know how long you've been in the industry, but the fact that you never took the time to become more efficient and more proactive with the learnings of your product, mastering your craft, makes me feel really, really sad for you. Let's continue.
Annuities are not all bad, but hardly anybody needs one, and there are
I can't even sit through this. Such fucking nonsense.
Hello. Here's another case of...
Join Marco's live, somebody commented.
Hey, let's listen to this
Join
next
Marco's
clip,
live, LOL.
and then I'll say what I have to say about that. Let's go.
Difference between me and a
All the trophies behind him too, you know?
financial advisor is I don't have the license to lose you money.
If you ever hear that phrase coming out of the mouth of someone
Oh, he's doing another reaction to this woman's video. Damn, he's triggered by this woman.
who is trying to
And this was 3 days ago.
sell you a financial or retirement product, run for the hills. Because basically she's just bragging that she has no obligation to act in your best interest. Being properly licensed to give investment advice, meaning you have like a Series 7 license, right? Or you are a CFP, certified financial planner, something like that. That comes with it very, very high standards for acting in the best interest of your client. However,
Oh my god, so fucking cringe and gay. Doing one of these duet videos where you're just making faces, you know? Just let it play. You didn't even need to be in this shot, Pedro.
Life insurance agent, and an agent by definition is required to act in the best interest of the company that they represent. Now I know I'm going to have IUL sellers all up in my comments talking about, but I always act in the best interest of my clients.
What she's saying is actually true. I've heard this from several financial professionals over the years where they say that IULs are rarely the best choice for most people. And I'm not a insurance salesman. I'm not a financial broker or professional. I'm just telling you what the professionals who have no stake in one of these MLM companies have told me.
No. Shh. Take it up with the government. These are definitions that I didn't make up, all right? An agent has to act in the best interest.
Imagine being a grown man, being so smug. That's what pisses me off the most, is like, as much as I want to help these people, at the same time I also want to smack that fucking stupid little smug smile off their face. Why are you gay? You know, that's the thing that always pops into my head. The Simon video, you know, Simon, what's his name? Simon Najwala. The guy who's like, why are you gay? That's always what pops in my head when I see this type of cringy shit where a grown man is like, making these faces. You have fucking kids. How embarrassing. Imagine your kids at recess at school and their friend comes up to them. They're like, is this your dad? And they show you the phone and it's you on the video. Why are you gay?
Of the people they represent, and they represent the insurance company that they write for. That protects them from being sued by you. Insurance agents are not qualified to do things like retirement planning, investment advising, or wealth management.
True. Even these people in MLMs calling themselves financial advisors, it is something they're not allowed to do, and they all fucking do it.
Certified financial planner who works on a flat fee.
Oh no, his debunking is using ChatGPT. Insurance agents have to act in the interest of whom? The insurer they represent, which is exactly what she said, and a fiduciary duty to act in the best interest of clients, which is also exactly what she said. Is this him debunking her? Under common law, an insurance agent owes a duty to use the degree of care necessary to protect the interest of the insured, so the customer. Okay, client's interests, yes.
Hey, Sam, thank you for calling her out. She is a disgrace for the whole industry. But now let's address the other side of the
You're a disgrace for the whole world.
Video. Everything else that you said on the video. First of all, shushing, really? But hey, anyways, I guess you like it that way. If you need a piece of paper,
why are you gay?
A license or a designation for you to become fiduciary or act in the best interest of your client, you're a piece of shit too.
Okay. I love when they don't deny they're a piece of shit. They just say somebody else is also a piece of shit, you know? It's like Schrodinger's pyramid scheme, you know? Schrodinger's business opportunity. Thank you, Jay Velez. Yeah, $5 for Pedro to delete the video. Pedro, delete it and I'll send you $5. I'll send you the 5. Is it a pyramid scheme or is it not a pyramid scheme? These people in MLMs will say, it's not a pyramid because pyramids are illegal. You don't think we're doing something illegal, do you? We have a license from the government, which is nonsense on its own, because just because you have a license from the government doesn't preclude you from breaking the law. A driver's license is also a license from the government. You couldn't say, oh, there's no way I was ever speeding or drinking and driving because I have a license from the government. Well, having a license from the government literally doesn't stop you from doing any crime, okay? And you can also have a driver's license even if you've done and been convicted of a crime before. You know, if you have a DUI and you get arrested for that, you can still end up having a license. You know, you might have to do some sort of like mandatory, course or whatever, or you might have to have the blow box installed in your car where you have to like blow into it in order to start the car or whatever. Just so you can commit crime with a license and you can continue to have a license even after you've committed a crime. Having a license doesn't preclude you from committing crimes. Secondly, if that doesn't work, they'll say, oh, well, everything is a pyramid. Your job is a pyramid. This is conflating and purposely making an effort to misunderstand the difference between a pyramid scheme where one is given money or rewards for recruiting other people into the scheme who pay to join, and a hierarchy or chain of command like a normal corporate structure when they say, oh, there's the CEO and there's the assistant manager and there's the manager and there's the cashier and there's the janitor. That's a pyramid scheme too. No, it's not a pyramid scheme because you don't advance up the ranks of that corporate structure by recruiting more people. For example, you don't go from janitor to cashier because you recruit 3 other janitors. You don't become the manager because you recruited 3 assistant managers, and so on. Also, the jobs, the recruiting, this is another word they conflate. The recruiting that's done in a traditional job is done for the purpose of filling a role. If a company is hiring or recruiting a cashier, it's because they need a cashier. It's not because there's a compensation plan which is dependent on recruiting an endless pool of cashiers who recruit cashiers who recruit cashiers, and on and on and on, so that the people at the top can make money because every time a new cashier joins the company, they pay to join. No, as a matter of fact, it's the opposite, where when you work for a company, they pay you. Scarcely ever do you have to pay a company in order to work for them. They pay you. Even for training, they pay you. This is not the same in MLM. MLM has such a meticulously crafted dictionary of doublespeak and lies wrapped within lies that you have to sort of sit them down like children and explain this to them, as I find myself doing often. So this is just one of the many lies within lies. Schrodinger's pyramid scheme. Is it a pyramid scheme because everything is a pyramid scheme and that's okay? Or is it not a pyramid scheme because pyramid schemes are illegal? Both of those on their own are nonsense when you break them down, and together they contradict each other completely. So these people literally, what's the Bible quote where it's like their tongues will betray them, some shit like that?
I don't need that. Because I have morals and I'm ethical.
No, you're not. And no, you don't.
Beyond my license. Second of all, saying that insurance agents only act in the best interest of the carriers. Well, I just showed you.
Pedro, wouldn't it be better to be here and talk to me rather than let me just roast you one-sided and expose your DMs? Wouldn't it be better to let you speak for yourself? Surely.
And those, you can Google this information, Sam. You don't have to put down insurance agents to sound better. You become better by being better, not by putting people down.
Doesn't know what the fuck he's talking
Do
about.
better.
All good.
Be more professional. Hey, let's listen to this next clip, and then I'll say what I have to say about that. Let's go.
The difference between me and a financial advisor.
Okay, so that's all he had to. Okay. What else we got, Pedro?
Another one that you'll see too is agents pitching.
So quiet. Why is it so quiet?
For college education for children. That is something you don't want to do as well. They almost never work out for that purpose. What they will tell you is, if you have a 2 or a 5-year-old, or heck, even a 10-year-old, to buy this policy and stuff it full of money, or buy it and get a big old death benefit and put money into it, and then you're...
5-1 Sherry, as always, makes the cult grow stronger. We love it. We love it, Sherry. Sherry, thank you. Sherry dropped a great comment as well, saying let me actually read some of your comments. I should. That she's from the home of Amway. And she says everywhere she goes, she sees DeVos this or Van Andel that, which is insane. Dave Vaughn says, he who fears the emperor fears the truth. So true. Kendra K says, do better, don't put people down. And was literally just calling that lady names in his previous video. Yeah, never mind calling me a scammer in my fucking DM. Congrats to Jared, Pyro, Sanjay, Walter, Kiko, Patty, June, NYC John, Melissa Cocomello, Lindsay Lou, wow, and thank you, Alexis, for becoming a member and renewing it again. Hello, it's good to be awake with a pyramid scheme. I mean a triangle. Now who's this dude? Thank you, Alexis. Appreciate you. Not even an opinion. He's a loser. Imagine your kids at recess, Pedro, and your daughter's fucking friends come up to her.
Yo.
I never fucked Dwayne, I never fucked Drake. All my life, man, fuck's sake. If I did, I'ma menage with him and let him eat my ass like a cupcake. My man full, he just ate. I don't duck nobody but tape. Yeah, that was a setup for a punchline on duct tape. Worry about if my butt fake. Worry about y'all hoes us straight. These girls are my sons, John and Kate. +8 when I walk in, sit up straight. I don't give a fuck if I was late. Dinner with my man on a G5 is my idea of an update. Hut, hut, one, hut, hut, two. Big titties, big butt, too. Fuck with them real hitters who don't tell no one what they up to. Had to show bitches where the top is. Ring finger where the rock is. These girls are my sons. Sorry, my bad, I fucked it up. Who I fuck with? Bad bitches we don't fuck with. I don't fuck with them chickens unless they last name is Cutlet.
Let it soak in like
seasoning. And tell them bitches blow me. Lance Stevenson, they modeling up in the sky. Shazania like the 4th of July. Should I do Drake verse too? Wow, we wasn't expecting that. It's been a long time since somebody donated the 200
Sugar
to trigger.
_ mama pledges allegiance to the cult with 200 Canadian dollars. Money.
It's all about residual income.
More proof of me scamming my fans, y'all. Wow, it's been a long time since somebody triggered the Nicki Minaj only donation. Wow. Wow. Anyways, as I was saying, Pedro, imagine your daughter at recess and her friends come up to her and say, "What does your dad do for work?" And she pulls out her phone and shows them your Instagram of you beefing random strangers on the internet because they're supposedly wrong about insurance. You're a fucking dork. You are I'm trying to tag him in my story. I can't even tag him in my story. Add mentions. Add mentions. I'm Pedro Villaroel. Nothing. Doesn't even come up. Pedro in the chat? Yeah. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Sugar Mama, for the massive dono. Wow, you're a legend. And I guess that's what it's doing because Pedro reminds me of like if my former best friend from high school at a later stage in his life, at a much more critical stage in his life, joined this pyramid scheme. It's just so sad to see. These people embarrass themselves publicly. They challenge YouTubers like me publicly to these sort of debates. You know, he wanted to do a live debate to show people how wrong I am. And it's like, not only is that going to be out there forever, unless you, of course, take the deal I offered before where you just, you know, wake up and I'll delete this to spare you. But like, you're destroying not only your credibility, you're destroying any chance that anyone wants to associate with you or be your friend because they're worried that you're going to talk to them about, you know, trying to recruit them into this scam. It's cringy. You don't make money. You know, you have children. It just fucking pisses me off. It pisses me off, dude. You have kids, man. You have kids. Ash says, used to have an Amway shop near my house. I'm in East Asia. I didn't know what it was then, but in retrospect, I'm glad it's gone. Hope whoever owned it got out. Yes. 51 Cherry, I live in the home of Amway. Almost every building in our town is named Amway, Van Andel, or DeVos something. It's terrible. You're in Michigan. Are you in Ada Township, Michigan? Sherry, yeah, 51 Sherry. Everybody, when you see 51 Sherry in the chat, salute, drop a salute, or roll out the red carpet for her, because she's recruited so many people into our cult by gifting memberships. Oh, Pedro watching this. Oh, see, he's recruiting people. YouTube is a pyramid scheme because he recruits more subscribers, and the more videos he puts out, the more subscribers he gets, the more money he makes. Once again, conflating something where a number of people grows with a pyramid scheme, which is not the case. You know, people, I'm not recruiting people who then recruit people who then recruit people. You can watch all of my content for free. All of these people who are being generous and giving me donations and gifting memberships and whatever, they're doing so out of the kindness of their own heart, not because I've lied to them and told them, hey, do this and you're gonna, you know, pay off your mom's cancer treatment, or you're gonna become a millionaire or buy a Lamborghini. That's a big fucking difference. Kendra says, guaranteed he goes against compliance in most of his videos like this, making claims he can't prove. Probably. Thank you again, Jay Velez, for the dono. Let's read your comments. Harpreet Singh, how do these videos he makes not go against his compliances with the company? Exactly. Chris, I'm a genius, a financial planner, a life coach, a licensed professional, full-time mom, yogi, spiritual advisor, motivational speaker. Where do you find the time to breathe, dude? Yeah, true. Mission failed, wasted. Thank you. Easiest debate win ever because he's not here. Apparently he was in the chat. I'm scrolling to see if he's in the chat. Thank you, OG420 Jr. says, I love this channel. Thank you. Not even an opinion. He's a loser. Objectively, he's a loser. Bam with the pyramid emojis in the chat. Yep, if you're a member, you can get those. Yo, bars. Oh, you like the Nicki Minaj? The song go hard, though. What line did I fuck up? These girls couldn't even... yeah, okay. I don't fuck with them chickens unless their last name is Cutlet. What? These girls couldn't test me even if their name was Pop Quiz. That's what I fucked it up. Okay. Marco did no hesitation on that. Gotta go hard with Drake. Might as well. I will do the Drake verse. Tell you what, if somebody... I don't know. I'll do the Drake verse if I feel compelled. I love the Drake verse, though. Lil Wayne's verse is not good in my opinion, but yeah. Stream sniped, it happens. Yeah, it happens almost every stream. Refresh it. We lost a ton of viewers from that, but it happens. Stream is bugging. Stream sniped by Pedro. Pedro called the cartel. So funny. If Pedro was connected with the cartel, he wouldn't need to be in a multi-level marketing scheme for money. That's for sure. He deleted my comments on his videos. Muted. No, I'm not anymore. Hit live or fast forward. It's Pedro. Okay, we're back. Yeah. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yes. Marco, did you see the I Pranked the Pyramid scheme? Yes, I did. I thought it was good. I commented on it as well. Thank you again, Sugar Mama, for the donation. I have an idea of who it was. Let me go and look without exposing. Tip history. Ah, I knew it. Thank you. Damn. Thank you so much. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing good. Last dono I got from this person, Sugar Mama, was December 18th. And they said, congrats on your failing YouTube channel, probably referring to Scott and Peter. Thank you so much, Sugar Mama. You are a legend. I appreciate you. I think this person, Sugar Mama, might actually be ranked among the top tippers. Yeah, top 10. Damn. Number 8. Sugar Mama, who donated $200 just now, you are ranked in 8th place. It's literally like a WFG thing where I'm like, and in 3rd place with 50,000 points, I don't think anyone will pass Legend Gaming. There's a lot of even the person in 2nd place has a lot of work to do before passing Legend Gaming. Legend Gaming is number 1, and I highly doubt he's ever gonna be dethroned. But Legend, if you're here, man, when you see these big bags drop, it's gotta make you go, oh shit, they're on my tail. I gotta maintain the gap. You know, I gotta maintain the gap and drop more big bag. Where is this fucking loser? Pedro. Comments on his most recent video. Buddy. Oh, you guys are on his ass. Stormy Takeover commented 5 minutes ago. Deleted my comment. Hey, buddy. Always Marco. You boy is scared of you. Yeah, I mean, of course. Compliance. Sorry. You know the emoji of like the nerd with the glasses? Compliance. Fuck you. Fuck you. You know? I really stand on business, bro. People used to stand on business back in the day. Back in the good old days, we called it, they used to stand on business. People used to fucking stand on business, and now they don't. You know? It's really sad. How the fuck do I have a mosquito bite on my wrist? I just woke up. Jason says, Marco, you just saved me from an MLM. Was on my second meeting, and I'm out now. There's no need to be self-effacing or humble about this. This is just an objective fact that I'm stating for the record. Pedro, I actually help make people's lives better and save them from being scammed, and I demand nothing in return. I post these videos for free. I assume all of the legal risk and legal liability because I really believe in what I'm doing, and I think that, you know, there's the great quote that I said on the last stream. All that's required for evil to prosper or to prevail is for good men to do nothing. I don't intend to be a good man who does nothing. I intend to be a good man who does good. So I actually make the world a better place. You contribute negatively to the world. And and that's so fucking sad because you have kids to set an example for. I don't even have kids. You have kids to set an example for. Shame on you. Shame on you. You know? The crazy part about avoiding Amway recently, says Jason, was how accurate all of your interviews are. They complimented you, want to meet as friends at a coffee shop, and then try to rinse your bank. All the lies are getting fucking exposed. All the lies are getting exposed. And I've done, this is why they want to silence me so bad, these MLMs that sue me, okay? Because I've exposed their playbook from top to bottom, and I honestly don't think, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's other languages that I don't understand who have already documented this years ago, but I don't know of another repository of information aside from my YouTube channel where there's such in-depth breakdowns on the specific language, games, and brainwashing tactics that they use. I don't know if there is. Again, I'm not trying to brag, but there's no need to be self-effacing. It is what it is. The only reason that people watch my content, we're in the year 2025, it's still growing, is clearly because it's needed. Every day I get comments like that. Every day I get messages like that. So clearly it's a much needed, it's much needed. And when these things get exposed, and like, Jason, you said you noticed the red flags because you watched some of the interviews with people from Amway. That only happened because you were prospected by someone in Amway who wanted you to join Amway. You went on the internet, you searched Amway, you found one of my videos, you found an interview with people from Amway who used to be in Amway for a long time, and they described almost your exact experience. If it weren't for that level of like relatability and like, oh shit, this is what's happening to me right now, we would have lost them. We probably would have lost them. This is why they're so scared of me. This is why I'm the boogeyman to these MLMs. One guy with a fucking laptop in a one-bedroom apartment, literally. Sorry, I mean in my big mansion, as you can see. One guy with a laptop and a microphone that I got who knows how many years ago for $100, you know, and a stream deck that was gifted to me. Thank you, Sam Lands. You know, has been able to threaten the actual bottom line of multi-billion-dollar pyramid schemes that have been around for almost 100 years. And you might wonder, how is it even possible? How is it even possible that this is the case? Because once again, the only thing that's required for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. And unfortunately, thank you, Precious81. Unfortunately, lawfare and the courts are not a place for people who don't have money. We live in unfortunately, we live in a society, hashtag we live in a society. We live in a society, unfortunately, where the legal system is a tool of the rich, and it can be a weapon of the rich. Court is not the place that you want to spend your most youthful, energetic years, vulnerable years, where you don't have money. You're going to get squashed like a bug and eaten alive, unless you have a support network. Like, bro, I have such generous people who support me on YouTube, and even then, I'm like, fuck, am I gonna, you know? Even then, I'm like, fuck, this costs this much. You know, I don't wish this on anyone. Unless you're already independently wealthy, I would not recommend trying to go up against the cartel of evil that is multi-level marketing. But you know what? I'm in a position, fortunately, where I have people who support me, who allow me to do this work. I believe in what I'm doing. I want to, you know, I was born in 1996. I'm pretty sure that 1996, somebody can fact check this for me, please. I'm pretty sure that 1996 is the final year that you can be born where you're still considered a millennial. If I had been born 1 year later in 1997, I think I would be considered Gen Z. So I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29. I was born right on this like final year, like right on like the turn of a generation, you know? So it's like, I don't quite feel Gen Z. I don't quite feel like a millennial. I feel like I'm a little bit of both, you know? It's like I'm young enough, I'm old enough to remember VHS tapes and, you know, cable TV and, you know, the old Apple computers in the computer lab at school with the big, you know, colorful bunda on the back of them. And I'm also young enough to like understand, you know, AI, and, you know, I'm growing up and people are talking about crypto and shit. It's like I've had this mixed experience. Anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up is because another part of the generation that I was born into is the fact that nobody can afford a house. Nobody's ever going to be able to afford a house. I'm 29. When my dad was 29, he was already on his second marriage, 2 kids, car, business, house. It's just not the cards for people in my generation, you know? It's just simply different for people in my generation. So I figured, you know what? Fuck it. If I'm not going to own a house anyways, if the job market is shit because there's, you know, billions of... I'm not even going to get into why the job market is bad. If the job market is shit, that I can't get a job. And even if I could get a job, it's going to be some soul-sucking, pay your bills and then repeat, you know, get the apartment, go to work so that you can pay for the apartment that you're never in because you're always at work trying to make money to pay for the apartment. If that's the situation I'm going to be in, then I might as well try to do something. If I'm going to be in perpetual debt slavery, I might as well do it while... I might as well be in it while doing something that I think is actually going to make the world a better place. And so here we are. You know? How much has Legend Gaming gave? Too much. Too much. So yeah, anyways, when it comes to threatening the bottom line of these companies, you know, they've been using the same playbook for so long, and they can't really adjust it. They can make small tweaks. Instead of inviting you to the coffee shop, maybe they invite you to a party, and you go to the party, and it's actually just 100 other dudes sitting in fold-out chairs in a living room, you know, with no air conditioning, trying to talk to you about a business opportunity. Hey, rich, successful businessman at the front of the room in my friend's parents' living room. Why the fuck do you need me? I'm a 19-year-old kid. Why do you need me? Hey, I want to talk to you guys about a business opportunity. Why? Why do you want to talk to me about a business opportunity? Didn't you just tell us how you live in a mansion and that's your Lamborghini parked outside? And so why are you here? Why do you need us? Oh, you're just so generous that you just want to share this opportunity with, you just want to be a mentor to us. You're so rich. You don't need our money. You don't need our money. You don't get paid off this. You're doing this because you want to help us. Oh, it makes sense. Oh, it makes sense. It's crazy when I talk to these people like Pedro, it's like, again, I'm sure Pedro hates me, but make no mistake, Pedro, your hatred towards me is actually just cognitive dissonance within yourself. One day you will realize that I'm actually the good guy. I'm actually the hero in this story. And the people who have duped you into pushing WFG are the villains of the story. One day you will realize this. But for you, it's not so black and white right now. It's truly frustrating, you know. I try, you know, the scene in The Matrix. Maybe I'll pull it up if I can do this without getting copyright struck. Matrix, what would I even search? Matrix pods. Okay. Let's try it. Let's see if I can show this without getting my whole channel taken down. Neo, you love another Matrix analogy. These people love to talk about the Matrix and how your job is a pyramid when they're in the fucking Matrix. So here's the scene from The Matrix. This is, here we go. Neo is coming out of the Matrix. There he goes. He's in the little gel pod. There he is. He's like, no hair on him. He's like a baby. They've got the tubes in him. He's got the plug in the back of his head. Look, everyone else is in the pods. This is an MLMer waking up from the brainwashing and seeing all of their former, like, cross lines and up lines still in the pods. This is what it's like. This is what it's like for those people. Let's see, I play with. Can you hear it? There you go. And then the uplines are like, you have a broke mindset. They come down. You have a broke mindset. Don't quit. Don't give up on your dream. Remember you told me how your mom was sick. This is the way out. Get back in there. Winners never quit. Quitters never win. Defamation. 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 Scanning for defamation. Defamation detected. Lawsuit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You know? That's what it's like. And it's like, it's crazy being in a position where I'm literally reaching into the pod, risking my life. The robots are all around. Fuck, they're gonna hit me with the defamation. I reach into the pod. I'm pulling them out. I'm pulling out the thing, breathing air into their lungs, shaking them awake. They're like, you know the scene where Neo's like, I can't see. And because, Morpheus is like, because you've never used your eyes before. And he's like, I'm pulling these people out of the If Pedro could realize I'm trying to pull him out of the matrix and remove the cable from the back of his head and from down his throat and wake him up and be like, you have children! You have kids to feed and take care of! He'd be like, oh shit, thank you. I can't believe I was in this fog. I can't believe I was being brainwashed. Can't believe I was in a pyramid scheme. But no, they literally fight me on it. I try to pull them out and they go, no, put me back in. And they plug the thing back into their head. Psh, put me back into the bubbles. Put me back in. You know? April Fools for real. Yep. Lamau, he ducked you. Incredible. Yep. So true, Beethoven. So true. This was supposed to be a debate. Yep. I'm disappointed too. Executive team leader, rising up in rank. Thank you for your work. Thank you, Precious. Kiki says there's nothing else like your channel. Thank you, Kiki. One guy with a laptop in the mansion of the Goon commune. Can't make this shit up. Burger Baron says 1994 to 2000. We remember VHS tapes, flip phones, and Blockbuster, but we're advanced experts with ChatGPT. So true. Jason says, with regards to his Amway, them trying to recruit him to Amway. Thumbs up the Ting, by the way.
Thumbs up.
Free to do. He said, what was sus at the end of my last meeting with Amway was how he told me to be careful with my research. He basically showed me how there's hundreds of millions of searches saying Amazon is bad. What a comparison. What a comparison, you know. It's an information control tactic. Cults will try to do something called thought stopping. And I mean, this is a propaganda technique to get you not to think critically for yourself. That's part of it. Don't consume outside sources of information. Just believe me. Burger Baron says, that's real. What incentive does a rich person have to teach others how to be successful? Zero. As a matter of fact, it's less than zero. Because as your personal wealth grows, let's say, I'll give you an example, but let me make my point and then I'll give you an example to bolster it and prove how right I am. Because I'm always right.
Marco!
The more your wealth grows, the more interest you have in not trying to teach others how to be successful. Let me explain. Let's say you are the first to market with a brand new pizza shop in a small town, okay? And you're there in the early days of the town and you open the restaurant when you're young and you're in your 20s and you make great pizza, okay? And you're the only pizza shop in town. And this is the after school spot. All the kids come hang out there. This is like a cool place to hang out and get a pizza. Pizza. Everyone loves this pizza place. And you are the only one pizza shop in town. Nobody even dares to think about stepping on your toes and opening a pizza shop because when they were a teenager, they went to your pizza shop and they would never, it's got a warm place in their heart. They would never even think of it. So you've had a monopoly on pizza in this small town. Fast forward 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, time has gone on. The town has expanded and grown. The city limits have expanded. Now, There's more people. Now, people on the other side of the town, the pizza shop is kind of far away. It used to be at the epicenter of the town. Now it's a bit further away. God forbid, with all this new construction and advancement and new people moving here and blah, 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 a new pizza shop opens up. I know. Competition for the first time. A new pizza shop opens up, threatening the bottom line of pizza shop A, the one that was there. People are thinking, maybe it could be time for something new. Maybe there is a better pizza out there. I'll give it a shot. And maybe this new pizza place, God forbid, has better pizza. Or maybe it has something about it. Maybe it has those delicious Blaze Pizza brownies that, might set it apart from, you going to Domino's or whatever that day. Maybe they have the pink lemonade that Blaze Pizza. I don't know. I just like Blaze Pizza, if you couldn't tell. Maybe it has something that sets it apart. The original pizza owner of the first pizza shop is not happy about this because it's more competition for something that he previously had a monopoly on. And the more years that went by where he was the only pizza shop in town and making more money and making more money and making more money, in all likelihood, the lifestyle of this pizza shop owner has risen to meet the amount of money that he is making. This is called lifestyle inflation or the hedonic treadmill. You can Google it. Basically, it means that there is a correlation between the amount of money you make and the amount of money you spend. If today you live in an apartment that costs $1,500 a month for rent, and then you win the lottery, and you now have $1 billion, do you think that a year from now, you're still going to be living in the same apartment that costs you $1,500 a month in rent? Probably not. Probably your rent is going to increase because you're living in some fancier house or mansion or, penthouse or whatever, because now you can afford it. So the more money you have, if your lifestyle costs, if your monthly costs of expenses have increased to match the amount of money that you're used to making, that you're familiar with making, and then all of a sudden something threatens your income or your income drops, now you're in a precarious situation because even though you might still be making a lot of money, it might no longer be enough to accommodate the lifestyle that you're living. This is why I say the more money you make, the more wealthy you are, the more that it behooves you to actually not share the secrets of your wealth. And this goes doubly so for something like a business that claims to be direct selling, like multi-level marketing, where they've co-opted and conflated and bastardized the use of the word direct selling because they're not actually focused on selling. If you were focused on selling, the last thing you would want to do is recruit an ever-expanding, endless chain of new recruits who are effectively your own competitors who are going to be selling the same fucking thing as you. Who knows the topic better than me? Who explains it better than me? Please tell me. I want to know. There's nobody. There's nobody who does this shit like me.
Marco.
I gotta get the bag.
Come on, Marco. Fuck him. I'm letting you bury yourself because once you're done burying yourself and you dig yourself into a hole that's so freaking deep, I'm gonna just show you how stupid you really are. Fuck you, Marco. Fuck you, Marco. Fuck you, Marco. You're poor. You're fucking poor.
Thanks, Marco.
You know? We're supposed to believe, as Alex says in the chat, we're supposed to believe these multimillionaires want to share an opportunity with a 19-year-old kid, you know? That sounds like something a pedophile would say to try to, like, trick you to get into the van. Hey, teenagers. Hello, fellow teens. I'm a multimillionaire who wants to share an opportunity with you. Get in my leased BMW from 2012. You know? It's fucking insane.
Watson dropped a bag $10 Canadian
I like that.
Con super chat. The police recruit. Do you think the police are an MLM too?
Yeah.
See, they got one chief. 5 sergeants.
You got 1 chief, 5 sergeants, 15 police, and 50 recruits. We're not an MLM because MLMs are illegal. Crazy shit they said to me. Wow. See, it all falls apart. All of their shit falls apart under the most minute scrutiny or analysis. I would have been at the mansion right now if it wasn't for Marco. The meeting was tonight. Insane. Insane. System brings the money, buddy. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you missed out because I showed a... Here, I'll bring it up right now, but you have to follow me on Instagram at alwaysmarco because, first of all, I have 110,000 subscribers on YouTube, but only 12.5K on Instagram, which doesn't make sense. But shout out to NPaz, OG Goon. He sent me these pictures. You know, people are doing the Studio Ghibli or whatever it is, blah, 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 you know, the Studio Ghibli filters to change, you know, the AI to change the picture, to change a picture into like a anime, whatever. Here, he sent me these. Can I save it? Save image. Ming, we'll call this Ming anime. Animing, am I right? And then we'll call this Heartage anime. Heartage anime. Shout out to NPaz for these. Let me put him in the whoa. Oh shit, cool. I just figured out a new fucking Apple shortcut. That's crazy. If you hold the Apple function and control, you can move the shit around. Okay, sick. Can I bring these into the scene though on OBS, please and thanks? Oh yeah, here. There's Peter Mingles, you know? If you're familiar with the images of Peter Mingles from my streams before, you'll be familiar with this. And the thumbnail of my first WFG video with Heartage. I mean, look at that. That's so crazy how the AI can get it that accurate, you know? And the Peter Mingles one is so fucking hilarious, you know? I love it. Follow me on Instagram. I never showed the Peter Mingles one before. I showed the Heartage one before, but look how funny that is, you know? I love it. I truly love it. You gotta follow the Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram, which is crazy because it's the smallest. My Instagram is actually the least followed of all my platforms. I have more followers on TikTok and more followers on YouTube. Somebody just commented on my debate with Febby Francois from WFG. He literally cannot name the company he works for, you know? It's insane. Let's see. I never want you to ask me why I'm sussed out about you watching The Incredibles ever again. I never want you to ask me. Did I ever ask you that? At least 2012. BMW. MLMs are illegal? Damn, I wish. You know what's funny is when people say MLM is legal. I actually would argue that MLM is not legal. Because here's why. If you look at the FTC's red flags for what makes a company a pyramid scheme, or for what might signal that a company is a pyramid scheme. FTC pyramid scheme. Let's Google this. Google. Let's go to the FTC's page called Multi-Level Marketing Businesses and Pyramid Schemes. The fact that these two supposedly different things even share the same page should raise alarm bells to begin with. Here is the red flags. Warning signs of a pyramid scheme. Promoters make extravagant promises about your earning potential. Promoters emphasize recruiting new distributors for your sales network as the real way to make money. Promoters play on your emotions or use high-pressure sales tactics. Distributors buy more products than they want to use or can resell just to stay active in the company or qualify for bonuses or other rewards. I've been doing this almost 6 years now. And I've read books from people who have been doing this much longer than me. Shout out to my the Grand Wizard, Robert Fitzpatrick, author of Ponzi-nomics and False Prophets. On a secondhand basis, reading the accounts of all these people's research, reading the 2011 John Taylor study, which is on the FTC's website, where he analyzes the compensation plan of literally hundreds of MLMs and determines that at minimum 99.9% of people in all of them have to be losing money. From my own research over the past almost 6 years, I would say that every single one, every single one of these criteria, of these supposed warning signs of a pyramid scheme, every single one of these red flags has been present in every single MLM I've ever looked into. Every single one. Now, Robert Fitzpatrick's criteria, you know, he's often regarded as the world's foremost expert on multi-level marketing. I certainly consider him to be that. You know, he quite literally wrote the book on this topic, Ponzinomics. And if you watch any mainstream 60 Minutes or CBC Marketplace or the Amazon Prime Lula Rich docuseries or Betting on Zero, he's in all of them. All of these major documentaries and publications that have to do with MLM, they seek out Robert Fitzpatrick to consult him and get his input. So he must know something. His 4 criteria are similar, but they vary slightly. His 4 criteria are pay to play, okay? Emphasis on recruitment, which the FTC shows here. Sorry, I need to drink water. Pay to play, emphasis on recruitment, the endless chain, meaning there's no limit to the you recruit 5, who recruit 5, who recruit 5, and the extreme money transfer from the 99% at the bottom to the 1% at the top. This is, of course, the exponential math thing that I talked about earlier. If I'm at the top and I start a new MLM today and I recruit 5, there's 5 below me, all paying me money at the top. 5 people paying 1 person. If those 5 people each recruit 5, there's now a new layer of 25. So in the bottom layer, you have 25. Then above that, you have 5. Then you have me. That 25 is paying the 5 who are paying me. Once again, an extreme money transfer. The base of the pyramid is ever expanding. At all times, the majority of people are going to be in the bottom, losing money. I have a whole video on my channel from 3 years ago called Why Making Money in an MLM is Impossible, where I literally do this math for you on an actual whiteboard, like truly spelling it out in black and white with math. There's no opinion here. It's just facts. So when you consider that these criteria, these red flags are present in every MLM that I've ever looked at, and this is what the FTC says makes a company or is a warning sign of a pyramid scheme, well, I think you can effectively argue then that every MLM is a pyramid scheme, because I've yet to see one MLM that doesn't have all of those traits, all of those red flags met. So if you can effectively argue that every MLM is a pyramid scheme, well, pyramid schemes are illegal. So when someone asks me, are MLMs legal? The answer is actually yes and no. Technically, the law says that an MLM is not illegal. That's what the FTC says. However, if you were to explain further and say that, well, actually, every MLM is an illegal pyramid scheme, they're just allowed to exist by default because there's not enough law that exists to, you know, designate them as pyramid schemes, and they only get investigated when the government selectively picks and chooses which one to look at, if they ever do look at them. And even if they do look at them and they do determine that it's a pyramid scheme, no one goes to jail. The FTC can't even bring criminal cases. They can only bring civil charges, which means they'll probably put a TRO, temporary restraining order, on the company, which is, they call it a TRO, but really it's permanent, which ceases the company from being able to have a multi-level marketing compensation plan. So they can still sell the product if they choose to, but usually they close up shop after this happens because it was never about selling products in the first place. And then they issue some fines, and sometimes they'll bar the promoters of the MLM or the CEO from being involved in another MLM in the future. But there's even ways around that. You could say, I'm not involved in this MLM. I'm a motivational speaker now. And then you can get hired by an MLM to go speak at their thing as a motivational speaker, you know, or the people who are the top promoters just get to move on to another MLM and move on to another one and another one and another one. So nobody actually faces any consequences for these things. So as I said before, the only thing required for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. I think that there are a lot of people who, you know, there's obviously a lot of people who support what I'm doing and what other creators like myself are doing. But the reason they don't do it themselves is because these companies, they just sue people. They use intimidation tactics like lawfare, harassment, threats, anonymous accounts who try to attack you, bot attacks to try to like get your Instagram taken down, whatever it is, smear campaigns. That's the next thing. By the way, I have a couple lawsuits that I'm battling right now. One of them, I can't say anything really about it, but I think I can say that it's at a critical stage. And I'll tell you right now, I'm anticipating this right now. If someone wants to take a screen record of this or make a note in their phone or put in their calendar or something, that Marco on this day, April 1st, well, for me it's April 2nd, but April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's joke, that I said, once I'm free to speak about this lawsuit that I'm referring to, once I'm, matter of fact, I'm not even referring to anyone in particular, but once I'm free to speak about legal issues more transparently, I am anticipating right now that when these companies are not able to silence me through the legal system anymore, the next thing that they're going to rely on is a smear campaign. They're going to make some shit up. And it's already happened. I mean, I've already heard stories relayed to me from people who were prospected by WFG in the last 5 years who have told me that they were in a meeting, they were being prospected, and they brought up my video or they sent my video to someone. I've even had people send me screenshots where they screenshotted their Facebook messages with someone in WFG and they sent that person my video, and that person's response was saying like a whole bunch of wild, crazy shit about me that wasn't true, as just an attempt to discredit me and smear me. So I'm forecasting it right now. There's going to be they're going to try anything. They're going to try to make it like a, if you ever read an article that's like a Me Too, saying some girl saying that I did something to her, it might not be apparent in the article or whatever, but I guarantee you this is some orchestrated thing by one of these MLM companies to try to like smear me and get people to stop listening to me, because these people are truly at the tops of these companies who perpetrate these scams. They know what they're doing. They know that their millions depend on the losses and suffering of millions of people. These people are psychopaths and sociopaths. If you think they won't resort to something like lying about me and calling me an awful person, however that manifests itself, consider that these people are comfortable with lying to millions of people and destroying households, marriages, friendships, the finances of millions of people, and still getting up on stage and smiling and saying, if I can do it, you can do it too. As of right now, that's a conspiracy theory because I'm theorizing that there is a conspiracy or that there will be a conspiracy. But to be honest, it's not even a theory. It's just a conspiracy because they're already doing it to me. I've already been, if you've been following me for a couple years, you've seen videos that were there one day and they weren't there the next day. You've seen me talk about things one day and then I didn't talk about it the next day, So, yeah. This is what I've chosen, So they do everything that is a red flag and then some. What would you do if you randomly bumped into Hartage? Thank you for the dono, Watson. He's sitting beside you on the plane, flying from France to Edmonton. Well, first of all, why the fuck would I be in France? But thumbs up the ting as well,
Thumbs up the ting.
What would I do? I don't know. He'd probably sit there quietly, scared of me. MLMs are actually, by the way, calling an MLM a pyramid scheme is actually such a compliment to them, because MLMs are much worse than pyramid schemes. First of all, you have a higher chance of actually making your money back or making money in a traditional cash pyramid scheme than you do in an MLM company. Not only that, and a pyramid scheme is far less deceptive. A pyramid scheme tells you that if you give me $100, in 3 months, I'll give you $1,000 because I have some business that's going to make us a bunch of money and I just need some investment. But really, the money is coming from new investors. Investor B pays A, C pays B, and on and on. In an MLM, this is a pyramid scheme that you have to consistently buy into every month. And there's actually no guarantee of you making any money because it's all on you. And when you don't make money, they say it's your fault. Whereas if you were involved in a pyramid scheme, if you invested into the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme, for example, and you asked for your money to take out your money and he didn't give it to you, you would be mad at Bernie Madoff. He would be the one in trouble. But with MLMs, they point the finger back at you and say, it was your fault. You had a broke mindset. You didn't work hard enough. And what can you do? Well, nothing. If anything, if you try to say anything, they sue you. So you're the one who's penalized for being scammed and trying to say something about it with MLM. Far, far worse than a pyramid scheme. I have another video on my channel that sort of exposes this. It's called like The Truth About Pyramid Schemes or something like that on my channel. Really good video. Dominic Izzo was such a clown. That was hard to watch because of how delusional he was. Yep, I agree. That's why I love these debates. I can just sit quietly and let them talk and they'll destroy themselves. Thank you, Skylar. I'll be writing all this down soon, Starla. Yes, thank you, Starla, for purchasing your write this down notebook from alwaysmarcomerch.com. Can I just shout out my merch for a fucking second? One-on-one call with Marco. If you have a friend who's in, look, my face has lost so much weight since then. If you have a friend who's in the MLM and you're trying to get him out, look at this: anti-pyramid phone case, anti-pyramid mug, anti-pyramid shirt, the one I'm wearing right now, the Goon Juice mug, the cult. I love this one. The cult member T-shirt, and the Losing Fortunes radio T-shirt, and the Write This Down journal. I mean, I'm him, Timothy Chalamet. Beethoven says, you had an IG story where you were watching it with fam under some blankets, and I was like, oh, yeah. I was watching The Incredibles, yeah. Just talking shit, you know me. Yeah, appreciate you. Yes, I was watching Incredibles with my nieces. But, I mean, that's you watch a movie with the family, you know? I close my eyes when the Mrs. Incredible Big Bunda scene come on where she's looking at it in the mirror. Oh, fuck. If I'm with family. Alex telling everybody what we already know about Trump and ACN. You should go watch my most viewed video on my channel, which is about ACN, and I talk about that in it. Andrew, what up? Do GFI. Yeah, many people have asked me to talk about GFI, but I don't know. I don't want to do another video about another insurance-themed MLM. That's why the new Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme is about an actual product-based MLM. Stewie says, any bribes yet? Yes, there have been bribes. There have been bribes. Absolutely. This is the thing. First, they threaten to sue you. You know, there's cease and desist letters, which are just fancy threats. They don't actually mean anything. Then, if the cease and desist doesn't work, they sue you. If you fight the lawsuit and suing you doesn't work, they try to settle with you. In this context, I think settle means bribe. Imagine, for example, why the fuck would you why would anybody in any lawsuit, not even talking about myself here, but hypothetically, why would the plaintiff in any lawsuit offer to settle? Imagine suing someone and then offering them money to stop the case. You started the fucking case. Why are you going to pay the defendant who you sued in the first place a settlement when you started it? It's because, of course, in some situations, they might do that because they don't want to go to trial because they think they'll lose, or it's too expensive to go to trial, or, you know. So they'll settle by having some terms where they say, okay, you sign this paper, you agree not to talk about X, Y, or Z, or not to do this, or to do this, or whatever, and we won't go to trial, and we'll pay you this money, or whatever. Maybe it can be beneficial for the plaintiff offering to settle, for sure. I'm not interested in that. Because I refuse to take a penny. The same way I refuse to give a penny to these MLM companies, I also refuse to take a penny from these MLM companies. You know, I think it would undermine, me taking a settlement would undermine all of my work. Because if I believe an MLM is a pyramid scheme, and they sued me, hypothetically, and then they offered me a settlement and I took it, well, wasn't my whole thing about how they're a pyramid scheme? So doesn't that mean that the money they have is stolen money? Ill-gotten gains? And then I'm going to accept a settlement with money taken from that ill-gotten gains? So I'm just a beneficiary of their victims who have already been scammed. I think I'm just as guilty as them. If that's what I'm gonna do, fuck that. It also undermines my credibility because it's like, oh, so you only believe this. So do you only believe what you say up until the point where someone pays you? No, I believe what I believe because it's true. I don't believe anything. I believe what's true. I believe 2 + 2 is 4 because I can demonstrate that 2 + 2 is 4 and I can prove it. I don't believe that, I don't believe anything outside of what I know or I can prove or what is plausible. So yeah, when you ask me, have there been bribes? Yes, I think a settlement is a bribe. If you're going to sue me, stand on business, sue me, let's go to trial, let's see who told the truth and who lied. I will win, you will lose. That's it. What are you going to pay me? Fuck you. Pay me. Eat my ass. You should have never sued me in the first place if that's where we got to. You should have spared yourself the headache. You should have let me make my little video and then move on to the next company and the next topic and save yourself the hassle. Dave Vaughn says, in pyramid schemes, one person is scheming. In MLM, everyone is slowly infected with false beliefs to propagate the scheme. Bars. So true.
Thumbs up the king.
I need another Suddenly hoodie. I could do that. PBD knows he is scamming and he loves it. Yep. Jason, I'm sure he's a great dude out of MLM. Amway has infected his thinking. He likely believes what he's trying to sell, fearful that his odds of success are lower if he doesn't. True. Ask me about my downline tote bag. No, hun, it's a pyramid sweater would go hard. I also I had the idea for the shirt called, the shirt that says they can't sue us all. If you take it and sign, you can never talk about them. It's hush money. Exactly, it is hush money. And I think that's pussy shit, I think that's pussy shit. I think it was Elon who said the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. If I think about the movie of my life, as an old man, and I think about how my life played out, imagine me thinking to myself, at 29 years old, I had the opportunity to take X amount of dollars as hush money and go live a peaceful life and, buy some real estate, buy some property, and just live off that investment for the rest of my life and chill. Get married, have kids, live a normal life. But then I can never talk about this topic again. Or I said no to the money, fuck y'all, stood on business, went to court, won, kept talking my shit. They tried to launch the smear campaign against me. Boom, boom, boom. I body that case because I show that it's all fake and it's one big conspiracy. The awareness grows.
Snoopy Doo donated 10 Canadian dollars. Thanks for all you do, Marco.
Snoopy Doo donates $10 on Streamlabs. They try to kill me. There's an assassination attempt on my life. I lose my pinky or some shit. Because they attacked me in the street and I fought them all off or some shit. I don't know. And then eventually, the public demand for outlawing MLM gets so overwhelming that it actually does get outlawed, and the government has to apologize to me and say, okay, you were right for all these years. We were wrong. I'm sorry. That was the old establishment. It wasn't us. We're with you. Sorry. And then pyramid schemes become illegal, and, that's my legacy. And it's a bunch of bad bitches with me. I think that outcome is way more entertaining, and I would rather choose that path. Also, what's it gonna be? What are you gonna offer me? What are you gonna offer me? $1 million? Ooh! Guess what? I still can't maybe I buy a house with the million, and then what? I still have to keep working. If the house is $500K, which is conservative by today's standards in Canada, if the house is $500K, what about property tax? What about maintenance? $1 million doesn't even fucking cover it. It doesn't change my life at all. What about 2 million? Okay, 2 million, we're good on the house. But 2 million is like, I don't know, bro. I'm 29. I got a lot of years left. I don't think that's enough money. 5 million at that rate. At that rate, if you're gonna pay me 5 million, that just tells me that you have so little confidence in your case, in your side of the lawsuit, that you are so desperate to pay me off by any means that I might as well just go to trial and fucking spank you. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Even if you offered me 10 million, it's stolen money. I don't want your fucking stolen money. So, I don't know. I think, if there is $1 million in it for me to take a bribe, I have 110,000 subscribers. If every one of my subscribers gave me $10, that's $1 million. If half of my subscribers gave me $5, that's $1 million. Sorry, if half of my subscribers gave me $20, that's $1 million. You know, if I double my subscriber base and I have 200K, in the next year or whatever, if every one of my subscribers give me $5, I have $1 million. So in the long term, like if I'm gonna be doing this for a few more years, it's not fucking worth it at all to take a bribe at all. Not to mention all of the publicity that can come from winning a lawsuit, being able to expose more people to the truth, being able to go on mainstream publications. Because now, if you've actually won a lawsuit that's where you were sued by an MLM, where they said this was defamatory, and you win a lawsuit and you've proven that what you said was not defamatory, well, now it's like verified and substantiated that what you said was true. So now you actually have a leg to stand on going to these mainstream media companies who might be otherwise worried about putting you on the air and talking to you because they don't want to get sued. If you're able to say, look, I already got sued for what I'm saying, I won, so you're good, there's legal precedents to support this, you're interviewing a guy who's already been cleared as being in the right. I know for a fact many big YouTube channels, I'm friends with CoffeeZilla, I don't mean to name drop, many big YouTube channels would support me. I'm sure I could get on CNBC and talk about, why this, that, and the other is a pyramid scheme. I'm sure I could do a speaking tour. I'm sure I could do a college speaking tour telling students about the danger of MLM. I'm sure I could do a fucking book deal. I'm sure I could do a Netflix docuseries, a scripted series about the origins of MLM and pyramid schemes, which is like a Narcos style, like, series, which goes all, season 1 takes place in the early 1900s, and it shows Charles Ponzi's journey from like a bank teller to starting the original Ponzi scheme all the way through the modern age to like Bernie Madoff and beyond. I think that would be a fucking sick idea for a series. Don't steal that. I think if we're talking money, which isn't what it's about, but let's pretend it is. If it is about money, I think there's more money in me not taking the fucking deal. I think the story alone is worth more than $1 million. The story of saying they offered me $1 million and I said no, I think that's worth more than $1 million. So fuck y'all. I refuse. It's insane. Andrew asks, are there separate channels to go through that haven't yet been explored that can circumvent the effect of lobbied politicians such as FBI and other law enforcement? No. Not as far as I know. Thank you again for the donation. Let me read his name on Streamlabs so I don't dox him. Sometimes PayPal tells me a different thing. Snoopy Doo. Thank you, Snoopy Doo. Appreciate you. Starla Marie, thank you. She donated and said, fuck you, Pedro. Sounds like a Latin song. Fuck you, Pedro. Da-da-da-da. I'm with it. They can't sue us all short with Go Hard. What other leaders of WFG do you want to do? I don't know. I don't want to do any of them. Quick math. You will be discredited. Yeah, I mean, dude, the fact that I'm saying this in advance is going to pay off dividends for me when they finally do launch the Me Too false rape accusation smear campaign against me in the future. It's going to be from some bitch that I've never even met, by the way, too, I actually can't wait. I don't know why. Look, man, I'm going to say something that maybe some people will disagree with. I think that there are things that might be illegal that you could still do in a morally rooted and ethical way. For example, I'm going to take one that probably most of you would disagree with on face value, and I'm going to try to argue my point, okay? I think that if someone is a drug dealer selling hard drugs, that there is a way that they could do this ethically. I think that if someone was a street level dealer who was selling to upscale, wealthy, well-to-do clients who did drugs occasionally for recreation, but they weren't like an addict. They weren't like a crackhead, you know? They had a job, they had a car, they had a house, they had a family, and once in a while they like to party. I think that if the drug dealer in this situation was not lacing the product with like harmful chemicals and, you know, beyond what's already in there, and not like shorting the customer on the quantity, like if the drug dealer said, I'm going to sell you 1 gram for this much, and the customer says, okay, and the customer buys 1 gram for this much, I don't think a scam took place there. I think there was open transparency on what was being offered, for how much, and the person who wanted it said, yes, that's a fair value exchange for what I want, and then they actually received that thing. Nobody died. Nobody was negatively affected. I don't think that's an immoral thing. Is it illegal? Yes. I don't think it's an immoral thing, though. On the opposite side of that, there are things that are illegal that are totally reprehensible, like multi-level marketing. It's okay to lie to people about their potential. It's okay to lie about how well people do in this thing. It's okay to bully people and brainwash people and manipulate people and say that everyone who doesn't believe in this thing, everyone who doesn't join you is a liar and a cheater and a dream stealer. And, you know, with the drug dealer analogy, I get it. People get pushed to do into desperate situations because of life. And maybe some people end up selling drugs for that reason. Maybe some people end up doing drugs for that reason. But if there's an equal, like a fair, open exchange, I don't think that it's a scam. Is it illegal? Sure. Am I arguing that? No, I'm not arguing that. Perhaps it should be illegal. I don't know. I don't know all the arguments for decriminalization and legalization or whatever. I'm just saying I don't think it's immoral. There's just something about I have a special kind of animosity and disgust for a liar, a cheater, a scammer, a thief, you know, a crook, a snake, a rat, a fraudster. There's something about that, you know. In my video about this video flopped, but I think it was a fucking sick video. I did a video last year called Why Every Scammer Goes to Hell. And I was explaining how in the book Dante's Inferno, the deepest layer of hell is reserved for people who commit fraud. Because fraud requires an act of treachery upon someone who has put their trust in you. And this is the most sort of unjustifiable thing you could ever do to another person. You could have a defense for why you sold drugs. Oh, I was desperate and I tried to do it within the best of my, you know, moral compass. I didn't lie to anyone. I didn't scam anyone. I didn't cut the product. You know, I didn't short the quantity. Okay, there's some explanation to be given. Even murder, you could say, oh, well, it was self-defense. Oh, well, I murdered that guy because I found out that he killed 5 children and I didn't want him to do that. Or I killed him because I thought he was a pedophile. There's at least some rationale that can go into it, even if you disagree. But with scamming, missing the point. I was just making the comparison that if there's an equal value exchange where both parties were satisfied, there's no deception there. The most reprehensible thing you can do is to deceive someone. That's why, and I said this in the video, go watch the video after this about why all scammers go to hell. In the video where I explain this, I talk about why universally everyone agrees that the worst things that you can do, the most like horrifying things you can do, are crimes where you do them to an animal or to a child, because these are defenseless creatures who rely on us for like their safety and security to do something, you know. And a lot of serial killers, they start out by doing things to animals and pets and shit like that, you know, because they're innocent creatures. That's why children, even in prison, people who do stuff to kids get fucking sliced, because even the most hardened criminals know you don't do that. And even they are disgusted by it. These people might be rapists and murderers themselves, and they'll kill a fucking child rapist and murderer. So, And I think that that's because at the root of it, it's you're deceiving someone who depended on you or who trusted you. And even the most vile criminals know that that is a disgusting, unjustifiable thing to do. There's no defense for it. There's no defense for it, you know? So, yeah, or elderly. Elderly is another example. Yep. Yep. Those are the ones that hurt the most to read about and hear about. Animals, children, elderly, you know, people who are defenseless, people who are like impaired in some way, disabled. Yeah, it's you get my point. So, anyways, to wrap this all up, I've talked about a few different topics, as I always end up doing. I always end up going off on a tangent. But what can I say? There's a lot of you guys today. We're having fun. You know, it is what it is. Let me go back to Shu says, with the dealer analogy, some say it's a G when it's 0.7. Fuck that guy. Some say it's a G and it's 1.02. Ethical stud. Hilarious. So funny. Bringing it back to Pedro. Pedro, I really hope you learn a lesson from this and realize that you were totally full of shit. I mean, you already know you were full of shit talking about compliance. Compliance. You're a fucking dork, loser, nerd, geek. You know? So, yeah, I hope these people would realize that I'm trying to help them. You know, go raise your family, go be a normal person, stop being a fucking scammer, and stop trying to defend a scam. Wake up. And let this be also a lesson to any of you scammers that watch my channel from the shadows, and you know you're lurkers, but you don't comment, but you watch all my shit because you hate watch me. Just know this is what awaits you if you pull some fucking stupid shit like this where you challenge me to a debate and then flop. I did another one of these types of streams before, like 2-3 years ago, where what was it? It was literally called "He Flopped on Our Debate," so I'm doing this instead. It has 14,000 views, and it was this fucking loser. Guess what? Also from WFG, who talked all this shit. I exposed those DMs too. Talked so much fucking shit in my DM and was so confident, was so smug and so, you know, obtuse. And then finally, when it came time to do it, flopped talking about compliance.
In the studio this morning, one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
having me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Also, don't be like this fucking chick. Emails me twice, messages me on Instagram, messages me on Discord, posts in my Discord server asking me to look into some scam, and amidst all of those attempts at corresponding with me, which were all sent within the span of fucking 36 hours, by the way, didn't even give me a chance to respond, like I'm not working on other shit all the time. Didn't even give me enough information about what the scam was to even be able to look into it. It's like when someone messages you, hey. Don't ever fucking message me, hey. Tell me what you want. Even if you're my friend, don't ever text me, hey. Tell me what you want. Hey, I'm never responding to that. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm never responding to hey. Unless you're a bad gal and I know the hey is leading to some... You see it. If it's a bad gal at 1 a.m. texting me, hey, you already know what time it is. But you get me. Don't ever message me, hey. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Okay. You know what's funny is if I wasn't me, no, don't even let me say that. If I wasn't me, I would be a big fan of me. If I wasn't me, I would such a big support. If I wasn't me, I would love watching me. I'm actually jealous of you guys who subscribe to me that you get to tune in to a live stream and be like, what's this motherfucker gonna say? I'm so jealous of you. I wish sometimes I go back when I'm adding the chapter markers to the stream and I have to like go back and watch it to say like, okay, 1754, put the timestamp here. Sometimes when I'm doing that and I go back and watch, I be laughing. I'm like, this motherfucker's funny. But if I was in one of these scams, if I was in an MLM, I would hate me. Oh, one guy with his laptop. One guy with a laptop is causing your multi-billion-dollar scheme to fucking sue and threaten and offer bribes. Bro. Bro. You know the meme? You know the meme? Sniper meme. Is it this one? Sniper moon. What's the one on the moon? Moon meme. Always has been. Always has been meme. Here we go. This one. You know this meme? This format right here? This format. It's like the globe is like MLM, and then the astronaut in the middle is like, I don't know, US Congress, and then me. Oh my god. Wait, it's all a pyramid scheme? Always has been, you know? I won't take it down. Jason, thank you, Jason. He says, Marco, you're easily my favorite YouTuber. Saved me from years of brainwash and financial loss. Hey, Jason, tell you what. I'm going to make you a deal. Because I'm such a scammer, and I'm such a scammer and grifter. I love to scam my audience. So I'll tell you what. Instead of you spending thousands and thousands of dollars on Amway, which you would have never gotten back, I'll make you a deal. I'll allow this because I'm so generous. You can hit the Streamlabs link in the chat, and you can donate some amount of your choosing, some amount that you're comfortable with, as an exchange for me saving you years of torment and financial loss and the destruction of your personal relationships. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, dude! What up, Mars? Mars back in it. Every time I stream, I think, is Mars gonna be there? I'm on the moon. Where's Mars? You know, we never know. And when she does join, it's a rare treat. Sometimes I think to myself, sometimes I see Mars' Instagram story, I think, is Mars still a goon? Is Mars still in the cult? She took the blood oath. Is she still committed to the cause? And then she pops up and I'm like, ah, there she is. There she is. Kanye West said his biggest life regret is he can't see himself perform. That's fucking hard. I actually relate. That's actually hard. Hey, Slim, I left my pager. Yeah, so true. It's a me, Mario. Who has kids? Yuck, LOL. Marco, you are the one who is making this MLM people shit their pants. It's a point to your favor that someone backs out. True. I live in a duplex and accidentally get my neighbor's mail frequently. Today I got a piece of... What's that word say? Mail meant for my neighbors. I don't have it in me to bring it up with them. Oh, God. Write the hyperlink to a specific YouTube video on the envelope, you know? Pedro just disabled the comments on his Instagram after I commented on his post. Hopefully this forces him to look inwards and reflect and change his ways a little bit. Mexico loves you. Thank you. -1 goon point to Mars. Oh, Mars is in the past on the stream. Once she catches up to this point, she'll realize that we mentioned her, and hopefully she'll leave a comment. Not a Drake verse. Now I gotta go right away. Yeesh. Oh, no! I didn't even end up doing the Drake verse, Mars. I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds for Jason W., who says I'm his favorite YouTuber, that I saved him from years of brainwash and financial loss. I'm going to give him 10 more seconds to drop a bag and test his loyalty to the cult. And if he doesn't do it, I'm ending the stream. Oh, he said, I'll accept your deal. Been binge watching you recently, so I'll gladly support. Hold up. Hold up, I got you. Wait. I'm signing up for stream. No, PayPal. PayPal right now. PayPal. Always MarcoMGMT@gmail.com. PayPal. Always MarcoMGMT@gmail.com. Let's see. Blackmail live. Oh my god. So fucking funny. No way. You actually don't have to, Jason. I was just doing a bit. I'm just fucking with you. You don't have to. You don't have to. You're already supporting me and helping me make money by just watching the videos. And if you've been binge watching, you've already been earning me ad revenue. So you don't have to. You don't have to do that. I'm just fucking with you. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else's message so I can any dono messages so that I don't feel bad, because that's happened before. It's happened before where I missed someone's reading out someone's dono on live stream. Whoops. And then I emailed them after and I was like, oh shit, my bad. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Refresh. Just a reminder, if you guys do want to support me, I encourage you to use Streamlabs because the YouTube Super Chat, they take 30% of that shit. That's not fair. It's not fair to me or to you. Let's keep it a buck. Big things coming. The new infiltrating a pyramid scheme. I know I've been talking about it forever. I've had other legal issues that have made me wary to want to incur another legal issue. And also it's such a fuck ton of information that, like, this infiltrating a pyramid scheme video is going to be not just the video itself, but also like several subsequent live streams talking about it. Because there's so much footage that, like, for each of the people I'm exposing in it, they each had so much material to lend that I'm only able to include a small bit from each of them. And then I have to, of course, I'll have to do a live stream reacting to the rest of their library of scammer content. So yeah. Make it to SMD and YouTube will take a smaller cut. So true. Mars says, legend, salute, hands up. Where are you at in the stream, Mars? Where are you? Where is she? Whoopsies. Nobody knows what HTML is. Change my mind. I'm checking my... Okay, last thing for real. I'm checking my PayPal to see if Jason actually did it. Because I would feel bad if I ended the stream and I didn't say thank you. I'm not just, like, keeping it alive for him to do it. That was a joke. For legal reasons, that was a joke. Let's see. Jason. Nope. Man's in the chat saying, hold up, I got you. I don't have PayPal. I'm donating on stream. Marco, you made the bull of MLM and Calvert aware of their lies. Did I, though? Dominic Izzo is still in MLM, right? The bull of MLM. He's still fucking doing it. Damn, he has 1,000 subscribers now. He's getting big. Hell yeah. Dale Calvert. Dude, apparently, I want to know what happened with Dale Calvert and his multiple YouTube channels. Here we go. He's not doing Collect Direct anymore, right? I love this guy, man.
My email box is bombarded, and I just wanted to make...
redo the video when you fuck up in the first 3 seconds, you know? My email is bombaclot. My email is bamboos My email has been bombarded.
My email box is bombarded, and I just wanted to make this quick video. I'm going to try to do a quick brain dump, guys.
Dale, quit capping. No one is fucking emailing you. You're at Waffle House. And why is the seatbelt tucked under your breast like that? If you guys don't know who this is, I did a debate with this guy. This guy was one of the most brash fucking assholes that I've ever debated. He was so confident, and he had some of the worst arguments. And then, of course, the MLM that he claimed was revolutionary and going to change the world doesn't even exist anymore, not even 2 years later. So, woo, I always win. So, yeah, let's This is Dale. He's a legend.
Dawn and I have been on the road for about 12, 13 days. We got to see Chapel score her 1,000th career point as a high schooler, which was such a blessing for us. And my inbox is full of people that are asking Dale, do I need to focus here? Do I need to do this opportunity? What do you think about this, that, the other thing? A lot of questions. And there's no new information that I can share that I haven't already shared. Is the way I feel. And there's just certain rules and there's certain things that you have to do in order to achieve your full upside potential. I think a lot of people are feeling like, hey, 2025 is good. There's going to be a lot of opportunity in a lot of different niches, a ton. And how do I take advantage? And a lot of the people that are asking me questions are people that, were asking me similar questions 5, 10, 15 years ago. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. Ignorance at its highest level is what? You guys should know, because you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Einstein said it. Ignorance at its highest level is to continue to do what you've always done, the way you've always done it, expecting different results. So you got to go into 2025 with a totally different mindset from the standpoint of, I'm going to make it happen this year. And I want to share something with you I've never really said, but it's true. Financial independence is not the end game. Let me say that again. Financial independence is not the end game. Financial independence is the start of being able.
Just the same recycled yapping slop that every one of these fucking MLM scammers has always said and always will continue to say. Yap, yappy,
Jason
yappy,
donated 14 Canadian dollars and 30 cents.
I like that.
My favorite upline.
Jason, you're a fucking legend, my boy. Thank you, bro.
Work. Gave him the money. Boom.
Thank you, bro. All right, go watch the new multi-level misery that's out with Corey, who used to be in PHP. I have 2 new videos coming. One about me going to jail, one about the worst financial decision I ever made, and there's a Batmobile in that video, and another video infiltrating a pyramid scheme, the new one. Been working on it for 2 years. We love to see it, love to see it, love to see it. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate y'all. See you on the next one. New stream on Ali Sob, reacting to him, reacting to me, calling me a bully and a clown, and talking about his domestic violence charges and not paying child support. Yes! I love Micah of Micah's rhetoric, and I feel like you're kind of the her of MLM rhetoric. Researched AF, knowledgeable of all the BS arguments, and able to spot a charlatan easily. Blink, 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 blink. Little old me? You don't say. I'm going to look that up. Micah's rhetoric. 54K subscribers. I bring everyone up with me. I bring everyone up to the top of the mountain of Mount Olympus. Truly amazing. Okay, thank you guys. Mars, you're going to be... I don't know if it's going to fucking... Because you're earlier in the stream. I don't know if it's going to cause it to cut out. Because I'm ending it. But we'll see what happens. All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Love y'all. Till next time.